Can you please state your name?
Ella Pilgrim.
Okay. What major are you in?
I am in building construction management technology.
Okay. So my first question is, do you think light rails on Purdue's campus would be effective?
I think that it's a great idea in theory, but in terms of actually implementing it, just because of the traffic patterns and how many issues we already have with traffic and pedestrians, I don't know how realistic it is.
What would be a better solution than light rails?
I almost think that just the roads need to be able to handle more capacity. Like, I think that light rail would be a great choice if the roads were designed to handle more car capacity. Because, like, right now, driving anywhere on campus is really difficult because you're always in traffic, especially during passing periods. And I think that right now the light rails would just congest the streets even more, because you're still going to have the people who want to drive somewhere, or, you know, they still only see the light rail as kind of like a bus system. So I think that if it would be possible to either like try to open up the roads a little bit more, or to like reduce the number of cars on campus, like.
So wouldn't light rails reduce the amount of cars, because we were thinking of putting massive parking stations on the outskirts of campus, removing the ones on the current campus to allow for more infrastructure in regards to the school, Greek life, and dormitories, and just use light rails as the form of transportation on the entire campus besides bikes and small motorized vehicles?
Then yes, I think that would be a really good idea. Just as long as there is ample parking on the outskirts of campus for those students who don't live, you know, in the heart of campus, or for those professors. I think that just as long as the parking is adequate on the outskirts, that the light rails would definitely be a good situation.
In regards to BCM, how much in terms of cost and time do you think a project on this scale would take, and do you think it would be worth that?
Oh God. I think that it would definitely take a while to pay off in terms of the cost, and in terms of just like the students understanding how helpful the system is. In terms of schedule, I haven't really worked in transportation before. It's been all commercial, so I don't have as good of a grasp as someone else may, but my initial instinct is a couple of years, say maybe 5 years. In terms of cost, I really can't give a good cost recommendation.
What do you think about switching to hybrid buses, more electric systems that way, and then expanding bus lanes, maybe just having a designated bus lane, maybe making the bus stops more, you know, able to handle multiple buses, bigger, more convenient, built better for the weather of Indiana? What do you think about that idea?
Like with the light rail or instead of the light rail? So light rail. My only concern is with that, like, the bus system doesn't seem to have reduced the number of cars on campus. People still find the bus system to be kind of, I guess, unreliable. So my only concern with that is if you're trying to like put more buses on the roads, even if you're trying to like expand the I guess like the way that you're doing the system, my worry is still that people are not going to take advantage of them, because they still kind of don't.
What do you think about eliminating cars on campus and switching to motorized vehicles, like smaller ones such as like mini bikes, just bikes in general, powered scooters? Do you think that would be a good alternative instead of allowing cars to frequent the campus?
Yes, but if you do that, you also need to either implement the light rail or better bus systems. I think that if, you know, you're saying, hey, you can't drive on campus, and not giving people as many viable alternatives, that would be really difficult. Just because I know that a lot of people aren't really used to biking, and especially in the winters, people want more of a covered mode of transportation instead of like biking down an icy street.
So one benefit of the massive transportation change would be that there's less pedestrian involved accidents. Do you think that's worth the benefit of spending the money to change it, or would you say that that's not? So about 9 pedestrians are reported with a serious injury due to a car accident.
I definitely think it's worth it. the cars and the pedestrians here right now don't really have a good relationship. You know, cars just kind of are going wherever. Pedestrians are not at all paying attention. They have their head buried in their phone. They have their earphones in. So I think that any way that could possibly reduce the number of those accidents would be a great idea.
Do you have any further suggestions or ideas or thoughts or issues that you would want us to take into consideration?
I think that definitely making sure that you do have that parking on the outskirts of campus, and that maybe if you could like lower the cost of the parking pass to do that, because I know that right now it's a couple $100s for a residence hall parking pass, which definitely is a lot of money for people, especially when they do need to have a car on campus, whether it's for off-campus jobs or whatever. So I think that, you know, making the parking passes easier to get and having the capacity for that would be definitely helpful in making sure that people are understanding the purpose and the benefits of either a light rail or better bus systems.
Awesome. Thanks.